Okay, hello. So I just wanted to make some one-handed example solves. I've tried filming this like a bunch of times in the past, but I felt like I was just doing, like I was just skimming through fast. Of course, there's a limitation when I do solves like this in that I might be seeing stuff because I'm solving slowly that I won't actually see in a solve, but I will try to be as realistic as possible. Also, I'm X to Y neutral with either white or yellow on the bottom. So if you do any other like axis of X to Y neutrality, you can scramble with that side on the top and bottom instead. With that, let's just get into the first solve. The scrambles will be in the description. Okay, so yeah, immediately on the scramble, I see that you can do a 2-move square on red white by doing b prime d2 from this angle. And then after that, you'll have this pair moving here with green faced up and this edge here. You could solve that with u m prime r prime f. And looking around, that's probably what I'll end up going for. Yeah, I don't see much better. So b prime d2 solves this square, and that puts this here, just does a d2, and this just does a b prime. So you have to do m prime u r prime f or u m prime r prime f. So how we'll decide which one to do is based on the dr edge, and b prime d2 doesn't affect the dr edge, so it remains here. So we can visualize, if you do u m prime r prime, the dr edge just moves here and it's still going to be misoriented. But before doing the f, you can do a u prime so that the f orients it and puts it here, allowing you to just do a r prime to solve it. As for m prime u r prime f, that puts it in a pretty bad spot. It will end up misoriented over here. So we'll do u m prime r prime u prime f. So b prime d2 u, and now we have this pair m prime r prime u prime f. And I was doing that, I saw this, which we could set up to the 3-move case by doing r2 prime u prime r, and that indeed does it. And then we can look ahead to this pair, which is just going to be this standard solution. Now this CMLL is easily recognizable from here because you have these two opposite, so it's a T case, and it's going to be like the symmetrical alg. Also, this alg doesn't affect edges, so we can go straight into the ULR. So you can do r prime u to r u f u prime r prime u to r u f prime u prime into the ULR. This sets up to a good arrow, like best arrow, m prime u prime m2. When the case is like bad, you just want to align the corners to the correct side. So you do a u prime, and then you just carry on. So u to m prime u to m. So that's the first solve. Okay, this is the second scramble. Just looking around, I don't see anything super obvious. Okay, I'll probably go for the blue-white block. It's a 7-move block, and the DR edge is in an okay position afterwards. So this might be a bit of a weird block to execute now that I think about it, but you can make this, like this pair, by doing u2 b2 u prime b. And what that does, it doesn't affect the edge. The corner moves, the b2 brings it here, and then the u prime brings it here. So this pair will be able to solve with r u prime f2. As for this edge, b2 u prime b2 u prime b just effectively does a b prime, so it ends up here, oriented, and then the r u prime f2 just brings it here, so it can be solved with u2 r2. Yeah, so u2 b2 u prime b r u prime f2. Now there's a common strategy, in which case if we don't know where all of our edges are, we can do a wide r2 instead to reveal all of them. In this case, it actually doesn't do anything because they're here, but in general, that's a useful tip to do. So anyway, when we did that, we saw this move to the back. So we can just insert that normally. And yeah, for this pair, we just have to, we want to end this solution with the R prime to bring it to the bottom so that the pair solution is more finger triggable. Anyway, I'll just show R prime, U prime, wide R prime, U prime R, U prime, wide R prime, U, wide R. And the CMLL is pretty easy to recognize. These two are the same, these two are opposite, so it's going to be U2 and then that com. I mean, not com, when I'm saying just the alg. That flips these two, so it puts the, we have the 2 edge to ULR, and this is a ULRB. How I solve this ULRB is I do U, and then I do M prime, U prime, M prime, U prime, M prime spam, and it can end with just U, M, U2. So that's the second solve. Okay, this is the third scramble. Again, nothing jumps out. Okay, I have a solution. So this is going to be a 6 move block, I think. It's pretty nice. So this is okay. So by doing UM2, we can set up these two, which go here by doing wide RD. And what that does, that doesn't affect these two. We're doing the orange white first block, by the way. So you do UM2, and then I think this is a bit hard to explain. I'll just show the moves as I go along. So UM2, and then now we have this corner here, right? So this corner can be made into a line by doing, if we do a D and then wide R. And what that also does is that it orients, well, not orients, actually misorients this edge and brings it here, so it can be solved with just the F. And finally, that F orients this to bring it here. So you can do D wide R F DU prime. And now we have this DR edges here, and the after all pair, if I just do a R2, both of them kind of suck. So I'm going to do a RU wide R, and then that will create a 5 mover for the back pair. So RU wide R is just a 5 mover. And just based on tracking, like deduction, I know that this is our edge. So you can do U wide R, U prime, wide R prime. This is a diag soon because these two are opposite and these two are adjacent. And you can solve that by doing RU R prime U sledge, RU to R prime. And this is a ULRB. You can do U prime, M prime U2, M prime U2 to set up to the, like the case, to the best case. And M prime UM solves the ULR and also makes this line, right? And U2 M2 just finishes the cube. Okay, this is the fourth scramble. Lots of blocks. Okay, I'll probably do a solution that's kind of similar to, like similar concept to the one I did just now. Not really. So we can pair this edge here by doing a B prime. And we have this already and we have this. So after doing the B prime, if we want to put this, like make the line, we have to do D prime, U prime, wide R2. before doing that, we have this edge here, like in a bad position, right? So we can do B prime and then wide R2. And what that does is after doing D prime, U prime, wide R2 to solve the line, you can solve the edge with U prime, F prime. And the DR edge will end up oriented on this layer. So B prime to make this, R2, D prime, U prime, R2, U prime, F prime, D. And that solves, like, it keeps this here. We can do R and then go into the back pair by doing this, like that, and then cancel into this pair. The CMLL is easy to recognize because these two are opposite, these two are the same. So we can do U and then the standard alg. And we have another ULRB, so U2, M prime, U, M, U, and it's going to be a dot case. So you can actually do, wait, that's wrong. Nah, I'm tripping. Just do this. It's not a dot case, never mind. What am I saying? To be fair, I'm looking at the cube through the camera, not the cube itself, so it's a bit weird. That's cool. Alright, this is the fifth solve. Yeah. Okay. For this, I'll do orange white. You can do MF to solve the square, and then it will end up, the other pair will end up like this will do F, this will like this, they'll only be affected by the F, and you can solve that with U prime M R B, B prime, which just moves the DRH up here, so it can be solved with the R prime. So anyway, MF U prime M R B, and then R prime. From here, I noticed that, wait, did I even notice? Yeah, I did. So I noticed that this is the blue-red edge, so it can be solved with U2 wide, U2 M, U prime, wide R, U prime, R prime. To keep this edge in the top, I will do a wide R prime at the end of that. And I also noticed that the corner went in the back here. So based on this green sticker, we know that it'll be solved with R prime U R, U prime, R prime U, wide R. We have the same CMLL case as the first one, and that doesn't affect edges again. And now, based on the deduction, we know that this edge is going to be the yellow-blue edge, and we can actually do something called EOFB, which instead of solving the LR, because this is like for an arrow, this is a bad case. You need to do this for EOLR. So you can do U M prime U M2 instead, which solves the FB edges. You think about this as if these were LR, so you just do that. And then from here, it's straightforward to see. You make this pair, U2 M prime U, to solve the rest of the cube. Hopefully this was helpful.